Hey guys, it's Melanie. I'm at the Quail Hollow Garden today, and today is Wednesday, May 27th. And check out these poppies that bloomed while we were away. Look at that beautiful inside. It's like black and white in there on the petals. Let's see if we can see it from the underside. You can see the black. Look how big this one is. Just beautiful, and there's more flowers to come. See the pods here? That's just about to open up. And another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. This is gonna be a beautiful poppy plant. Look how pretty it is. We'll have to save the seed on this one, huh? And look how tall it is. Let me, scan back here. So it's pretty tall. It's over 2 feet tall, and it's in the barrel here with the lavender. So whoever planted that there, look at your beautiful flower. It's amazing. So let's see what else is going on in the garden. It's just blooming. Just scan really slow through the garden, and it's just blooming. One of our other moms is going to come and plant this bed here with some squash pretty soon. So we're excited about that. Our grape over there, I'll get a little closer. So let's see, sweet peas. We've got some pink sweet peas over here. I'm gonna be saving seed from this. And again, we're gonna wait until the seed gets really plumpy, like this kind of. And we'll even let those get a little bit thicker. See how they have ridges on them? That means they're getting ready to pick. Oh, there's a ladybug. Can you see that ladybug? Look at, there's another one here too. There's another one on that side. I don't know if I can get a good, there it is, down there. It's a little different. So we've got ladybugs. Oh, here's some ready to harvest. So here's some beans ready to harvest. They are dry on the pod, on the vine here, and they're all dry. So these are ready to save for next year's planting. They start out like this, really thin. See how thin they are? And then they get plumpier, and then they're just kind of bursting out of their little pod there. So these are ready to harvest. So I'll do some harvesting today of sweet peas, and then also of our fava beans. So we've got fava beans here ready to harvest. Look at our snapdragons, how pretty they are. Oh, they're just, I don't even know if this video can get how beautiful that pink is, but just pretty. Poppies are blooming all over. I mean, just really all over the place. Poppies, and look at what happened to our tic-tac-toe game. It fell apart. It got hot, I guess, and cracked and fell apart. That's a redwood log, so we'll have to make another one. Some more poppies. These are the California wild poppies, and see how pretty they are. They're so light, pale yellow on the outside, and then this beautiful orange on the inside. Oh, look at, there's a little pollinator bee doing his pollination thing. A little dance. Oh, there he goes. So lots of poppies coming up, and then our grapevine. Let's see if we see any grapes this year. So this is really the first year. We planted it last year, but it only grew a little tiny bit. This is the second year of growth, and it's all the way up there now. We did not get any grapes last year, and not seeing grapes this year either. Maybe next year we'll get some grapes. They take, 3 to 5 years to really get established and start giving you some fruit. All right, here's our another, let me get out of that. Here's our other fava beans. Over here, this was just in the pathway. Let's see, can you see it's just in the pathway? There's a bed here. And then somebody maybe dropped a fava bean and there it grew. And we've probably got, let me get into the shade, but we probably have 20 fava beans on this one plant that just fell and started growing all by itself. What a fun thing to happen. So we'll probably harvest this plant here. It's been eaten. There's some bugs on here eating their way through this plant, but the fava beans are fine. We might have one there that's not good, but the rest are good. So this will be fun. Lots of fava beans to harvest. There's some more over here to harvest, some more fava beans here. And again, some more favas that are growing here. And the mint, look at the mint's taking over. You guys aren't here to drink mint tea, so all the mint's going crazy. So we'll have to pull some of that out as well. And look at, there's a couple of freckled lettuces hiding within the mint. They're doing really well. Look how pretty that is. Lots. Oh, we have strawberries over there hanging. Let's see if I can get a close-up view. Got some strawberries growing. Our lettuces here are going to seed. I'm going to let them go to seed and I'm going to save it. They're just starting to flower. See these little yellow flowers? And the pollinators love these lettuce flowers. So I'm gonna let it go to seed so they have something to eat this summer. And then I'll save the seed. There'll be hundreds of lettuce seeds just from that one plant. And I don't know if you see how lettuce will grow like this. And then once it starts to flower, it just stalks up and grows really tall. This one's at least 2 feet tall. Love all the sweet peas. And check out this. This is gaillardia or gaillardia. Gaillardia. This yellow flower here. And it's blooming like crazy. And I love this flower. I know I mentioned this last time, but has little individual flowers on one little flower head. It's so pretty. And we'll save the seed from this too, because I'd like to plant some of this around the outside. I wonder if the deer eat this. I'll have to look that up. But I'll save these. I'm not deadheading this. Deadheading means to cut off the old flowers and then more flowers will grow. And I'm not going to deadhead it for a little while because I want some of these seeds that are going to develop in this flower right here. And there's a whole bunch. But there's also a lot of flowers, so I'm actually not really worried. And then there's another plant over there, so I have tons of flowers to get seeds from. What else is going on? Here's our kale. Well, let's see. It's a kale. Here's a kale flower with a sweet pea entwined on it. But this kale is going to flower. It's pretty tall. We've already picked quite a bit of leaves off this one plant, so now it's going to flower. I've already saved a lot of kale seed though from this garden, so I think I'll wait. I'll just let that flower for the pollinators. And check out all your sweet peas. Oh, this is a radish seed in here among the sweet peas. Don't think this is a sweet pea pod. This is a radish pod. And there's the radish flower. And there's a weed. I'll have to pull that out. But all the sweet pea colors, all the pinks and purples, and the sweet pea pod seeds. All right. Oh, I just saw a pollywog come up. A big one, actually. Let's see if we can quietly sit. I wonder if they'll come up again. Here's our pond, and last time we saw a whole bunch of babies. And this time I was actually wondering where the pollywogs were, because I was kind of watching this and I didn't see any pollywogs at all. So then I was wondering, did it get too hot in here? Did they die? There it is. Did you see that? Did you see that? Oh, there's another one. Oh my gosh. There's still frogs in here, you guys. I'm so excited. See if any more will come up. Oh, there's another one. Ah, there it goes. They're just coming up to get air, maybe? And I bet you they're feeding on all this plant stuff that we left in here. So I'm hoping they have enough food in there. This pond we did last, how long has it been here? I'm not sure, actually. I'll have to look at my notes. But I think it's been here for at least a year, right? So this is our first summer. Pollywogs are in there. Or tadpoles, whatever you want to call them. Let's see if we can wait for one more. Do you hear the crows in the background? There were turkeys here this morning too. Come on, little pollywog. Come up to the surface. We want to see you one more time. So how many was that? 5? We saw 5 come up. Do you think they're the same ones or different ones? I'm not sure. I could imagine they can hold their breath for quite a while. Okay, I don't know if any others are gonna come up. All right, well, we're gonna move on. But that was fun, huh? Got to see some frogs in your pond there. There's your little pond. Not very big. It's got water going into it every couple of days. It has water going into it, and then it has this, right here, it has a solar panel, which is not in the sun all day long, but for most of the day. And that solar panel right there turns on this little pump here. And that pump will circulate the water a little bit, add some oxygen in there for the frogs. And I'm so excited we have frogs. What an exciting thing. We have one more piece to our whole garden ecosystem, right? The frogs will help eat some of the bad bugs here. We want to encourage that. And the birds can come here and get water if they want. And here's some really pretty sweet peas. Look how pretty those are. I don't know if you can see those. A very good light here. Very pretty purple and red. And all of our succulents and calendula are doing good. And then here's your little habitat for lizards or birds or frogs, and that's getting water every couple of days too. So it's full of water right now. And check out your celery. So I didn't harvest it. I just let it grow. I feel guilty harvesting things without you here and eating them. So I just figured I'll let things go to seed this summer. And we'll collect the seed, but look at these beautiful flowers that are beginning on the celery. Look how cute. They're just tiny little flowers. And they're both Both of our celeries are going, but look how big the one on the left grew compared to the one on the right. What did we do differently? Was that plant smaller when we planted it? Did we give that one some manure and not the other one? I don't know. Well, this one also has a couple of companion plants around it, right? So this one over here has yarrow growing next to it, and also some calendula back there growing. And if you can see, there's a lizard right there. He's sneaking. See him? There's a lizard. He's helping us eat bad bugs too, right? We love our lizards. I hope he's enjoying that little bit of water in that little habitat that you gave him. And then this celery is next to it, right? And we didn't really grow anything around it, so it's bare soil. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. It's interesting. And I've turned off the water to your garlic. So here's your garlic and your onions. And I turned it off 2 weeks ago, maybe. I think it was 2 weeks. There's your time. 2 weeks ago. And so I'm expecting these to start bulbing up and to start dying. So you can see how big this onion is getting. If I can get a shadow. There's my fingers for comparison. It's a couple inches apart. So we'll watch that one. Let's see if your garlic is bulbing up. Ooh, look at this onion. This onion is getting big down there. It looks like we planted 2 onions together. So they're kind of maybe searching for their own food, but look how big they are getting. Pretty big, look at that. They're bulbing out quite nicely. There, even though they're growing together. Let's check the garlic. So remember, our onions are this thick, hollow tubing, and our garlic is this flat leafed plant. And let's see if the garlic's bulbing up. Ooh, that one's pretty deep. Oh, but look, it is bulbing up. Can you see that? It's kind of hard to see, but there you go. It's pretty big as well. Look how big that is. So what happens with garlic, let's pull this weed out. What happens with garlic and onions is that they grow throughout the winter and they get all their water and nutrients and they bring it up through their roots and up to their leaves, and they grow these beautiful leaves that you see now. And then once the summertime comes, you want to turn the water off to them, because when bulbs die, what happens, this happens to daffodils too, their leaves start to yellow and die back. And all that energy and nutrients and water that was in their leaves that you see here goes back into their bulb and makes their bulb really fat. But if you keep watering onions, they'll just grow and grow and grow and flower even, and they won't create this bulb until you turn that water off and you let that plant die. That plant goes into survival mode and then puts all that energy right back into its bulb, and it's down into its roots underneath the ground. So that's what we're doing right now. We're waiting probably, I don't know, that garlic was pretty big. So I'm thinking maybe another month and we'll be able to harvest these onions and all of these garlics right here. So I'm kind of excited. Patience, you got a lot of patience with garlic and onions, but they come to fruition. And check out your tarragon. This is French tarragon right here. It tastes like licorice, and it takes a couple of years for it to establish. This one is actually 3 years old, almost 3 years old, and it's not very tall, and it just kind of struggles along for a little bit, for a couple of years, and then it just really starts growing and getting big. And so we've got a lot of tarragon this year. I'm excited about that. It smells so good. And then here's our pineapple sage, and I wanted to show you guys that our pineapple sage just a few minutes ago looked like this. If you can see that. Had a whole bunch of trimmings. I cut them all off because, you know, sages really want to be pruned down every year. And when you prune them down, they grow back this lovely, beautiful foliage. This happens for lemon verbena and all of our sages. And this pineapple sage, we did not prune because we weren't here to prune it in March, in early February or late February. And here's all the prunings I took off, and you'll see that this foliage, it does grow back, but it grows back so tiny and kind of misshapen. All the leaves are kind of curled. You know, it really loves to be pruned. So I just pruned off last year's growth all off the top here. And then you'll see all this stuff on the bottom was growing, and it's beautiful and perfect. So here's another comparison between the two. And this was just a stick up here like this, and I just cut this off. So you want to prune back your sages. And then let me show you something else neat that happens with sages. They're so easy to propagate. So you'll see this branch here was at one point standing up, but at some point over the winter got pulled down into the ground here. And it just started rooting. I can't even pick this up. It's really sturdy. See that? And look at all the new growth. It just rooted there, and it's acting as a new plant. And there was another one over here. This one's loose here, but this one is not. And look at this one is cut off. It's cut off from the tree, but is growing a whole nother bush right over on this side. So pineapple sage is lovely. And if you give pineapple sage just a little bit of, you know, security, you know, that's kind of out of the frost, and you kind of give it a little bit of security, it won't die at all. And I have one at home that does that, and it doesn't die, and it's taller than me, and it has been blooming all year round. So give your pineapple sage a little protection, and you'll be really astounded by what it can do. And we have another poppy growing over here. It's about to bloom, it looks like. Looks like it's gonna be purple, look at that. And I'm gonna check out this rosemary. Check out this rosemary. There's something curling these leaves like a spider. I don't see it, but it's making a little home in that rosemary. I've actually never seen a rosemary. Oh look, there was a ladybug in there. So maybe the ladybug's eating whatever's doing that webbing, so I'm gonna leave it alone. And your butterfly bush is starting to bloom. Also, the Coropsis is starting to bloom. It's hard to see out here. And here's your butterfly bush blooming. And we did prune this one. We pruned this one together. And so it's doing really well. The butterfly bush likes to be pruned too. All right, you guys. Oh, there's some more snapdragons over there. I think I've talked for enough today. It was a fun video. I hope you guys are doing good out there and staying healthy. And I hope to talk to you guys soon again. Have a great day, and don't forget to be kind.